I would say, man, New York is lifestyle, culture and lifestyle,
Yeah.
all day. And I still miss it. I miss, it's like New York, you're in it. You get out of your crib, you go to the train, the elements, in my opinion, the elements that gave birth to, condition, the environment, lends itself to the form.
So that's more than just the dance.
Yeah,
it's the whole lifestyle.
Because neighborhood to neighborhood, there's different ways to celebrate and partake upon their culture.
Right.
Until the loudest one becomes the dominant one.
Sure.
And their kids want to be fresh and be accepted, so they don't. And okay, is it hip hop? Is what's going on in the process? What happens out here is there's more bread and there's more work. So then street dancers come out here for work. So now a lot of people are confusing the work culture, the money culture for actual culture, and there's a divide. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not a lot of the dancers. Some of the dancers who are industry, street dance, they don't venture into the culture at all.
You've seen Cricket's videos and his performance in movies, shows, performances. Step up. That's what I remember about Cricket when I first. You gonna do. Anyways, so but even that, it's still hard, right? It's not easy to get jobs like in a constant basis. Why do you think you got this position?
I got lucky as fuck. I just had money. Street dance for me as a kid was dancing behind an artist.
Yep.
And or choreographing for an artist, or being a choreographer,
right?
Or being a specialty act.
Okay.
Meet Rennie. Rennie was a director, and he had a lot of other positions on his TV show called Dance Party USA. It wasn't about being on TV for me. It's about I'm around good dancers.
New York City obviously has so many amazing dancers, and you're one of them among all those other dancers as well. And then out here in LA, it's a completely different scene. What was your experience living out there as a dancer and then moving out here, obviously as a professor, but at the end of the day, as a dancer as well?
Yeah.
What do you think is so different between the two cities, the two coasts?
I would say, man, New York is lifestyle, culture and lifestyle.
Yeah.
All day. And I still miss it. I miss just, it's like New York, you're in it. You are it. The best way to explain it is you're in it. And I think what helps also is like, okay, here I have to get into my car, I'm separated, I drive, and then I come out, and then I go to the thingy, and then I go back in the car, I'm separated. New York, you get out of your crib, you go to the train, the elements, in my opinion, the elements that gave birth to, okay, so there's street dance, right? The dominant, this is my opinion, the dominant form of street dance is what took place in New York. Because before that, the dominant approach to street dance was the funk styles.
Okay.
Popping and locking. You know what I mean? Because they were all over the TV. We're kids watching that. So,
yeah, that happened earlier.
Yeah.
Soul Train and all that.
So the dominant, it's that dominant street dance. So it's for if you talk to someone in the area, the condition, the environment lends itself to the form.
So that's more than just the dance.
Yeah,
it's the whole lifestyle.
Like when I first moved to New York, I lived in Williamsburg, in Brooklyn. Two things that like fucked me up because I've been always coming to New York as like visiting, stay, go to, and I'm not in the neighborhoods as much.
Yeah,
and if I am in the neighborhood, I'm in and out. I'm in the neighborhood, but I'm not. I don't live there. I'm in it, staying over somebody's crib, couch hopping, go home. Move to Williamsburg. When I'm living in Williamsburg, I go to the Chinese food store, and I've heard in New Yorkers go, yeah, we use one of the ways the term breaking was used was like somebody being angry with you, somebody has a problem with you, or like they're breaking on you. And I heard somebody use that in conversation. I was just like, ooh, shit, that's real. Because he was like, yo, man, dude was breaking on me, bro. Da, 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 da. And when I heard it, I was just like, this is like, I heard the term being used because now I'm in New York. Then I live down the street from the Willie B projects, from a housing. Like I live right up the street from the projects. And every time there was like a party, or the projects would have like a party outside the projects, you would think it was at a breaking jam. Because the same music that birthed breaking, that's what they play.
It's like everywhere.
Because that's how they grew up. But no, in those projects, so it's just like, bro, I get it. Because this came out of this environment.
Right.
That form came out of this environment. And here's the crazy part. Brooklyn, when you talk to some of the dancers that refer to themselves as lofters, the ones from Brooklyn, I'm thinking they dance to more like dance music and disco. They do, but it's what some of the dancers that identify as lofters, they're doing this at the same time up in the Bronx. They're doing breaking, but they're doing it to the same music.
Right.
So now I'm hearing this music, and then when I meet some of the dancers that identify as lofters, and I'm talking to them, and they're telling me their track list, I'm going, that's the same as.
But you're just doing different things.
Because neighborhood to neighborhood, there's different ways to celebrate and partake upon their culture.
Right.
Until the loudest one becomes the dominant one.
Sure.
And kids want to be fresh and be accepted, so they dump and okay, it's hip hop now. It's what's going on in the Bronx. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's more like a closed neighborhood. Like we're in it. Like it takes some time from Brooklyn to the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
But it's not as because there's the subway, right? You can always go. You go to Manhattan, whatever. And then you get to meet people where there's like battles and whatnot. But here, it's very different because you got to drive around. So you don't feel the same type of energy and vibe out here living in LA. Even though there are still parties and sessions, dance classes everywhere. But it's just different, right? The key ingredients of the whole socializing aspect is missing.
Yes and no.
Okay.
And this is just my opinion. I think the separation happens because of the commerce. Because I meet dancers out here, like because I think he moved, but I live close to Brother. He's a street dancer. He was active around the same time that around the time that Mob Top is active. Soul Brothers, and that generation are active. So when I chop it up with them and talk to them. It's the same thing. They have the same stories that all the other neighborhoods happen. But what happens out here is there's more bread and there's more work. So then street dancers come out here for work. So now a lot of people are confusing the work culture, the money culture for actual culture. And there's a divide. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not a lot of the dancers. Some of the dancers who are industry, street dance, they don't venture into the culture at all. At all. Whereas most of us in New York, we have no choice. We're culture. But we're culture, we're trying to get the money.
There's less work.
Out here, you can literally come out here from and this is no disrespect, but if I'm from Wisconsin and I'm in the street dance, I can come out here and never touch and never have to know and find out about Brother and experience street dance. Whereas in New York, you gotta know. Otherwise, people you're gonna run across it. You're gonna run across somebody from it.
Right.
Just ooh, that's stretch.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. You know what I mean? But here, get in the car, you may never run across the practitioners here. And it's funny because I need that. I need that. So I'm going to clubs trying to sit in that because if it's about getting the and this is not bad. If it's about getting the money, getting the work, and not getting back into the culture, that's your everyday. Me, I need culture. I need that because I got into this through cultural get it, and always come back. Whereas some of these dancers now, they just go, I went from the studio, my mom dropped me off at the studio, my parents dropped me, and now I drive to the studio, and then we go from the studio, and then we go to boom, 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 as opposed to us being like, where's the party?
Right.
Where's the event? Where's the party? Where's the event? Oh, this is an opportunity to now get some videos. It's like,
Yeah.
But now I have to respect that there are some, especially most of my students, their trajectory, their path, way different.
So this is a perfect segue because we're talking about work opportunities, money, and how do you sustain your lifestyle as a dancer. I talked to Marcel about it too. You know, like most of the dancers struggle when they were younger and then didn't know how to make it. You know, like it's a constant process or / struggle to get yourself situated in a situation where you're not stressed out about your financial situation all the time. So, and you mentioned LA undeniably has probably more opportunities for dancers. Now it's different, right? Because you have dancers as choreographers, teaching classes here and there, and then you also have dancers that go for tours, go around as a backup dancer, doing commercial jobs and all of that. Obviously, again, there's probably more opportunities out here too.
Yeah.
Now, you chose a very different path of coming here as a professor, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have came out here if I didn't get
so yes. So
no disrespect.
Exactly. So that's huge because for someone that as amazing as cricket, right? He's been dancing for what, like 30 years plus?
I've been dancing since I was 14.
So what, 40 years yet?
I'm 14, I'm 52 now. So
close to 40 years, right? So, you've seen Cricket's videos and his performance in movies, shows, and performances. Step up! That's what I remember about Cricket when I first said, you didn't do. Anyways, so, even that, it's still hard, right? It's not easy to get jobs like in a constant basis, enough classes to teach, enough privates that you can offer and whatnot. It's just like, it's never that stable, so to speak, right? Now, compared to what you have now as a professor, that's a salary job, right? And that allows you to do a lot of things without worrying about, okay, how many more classes I have to teach in order to pay my rent and all that, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to Marcel about it too. In terms of like, how do you think, or why do you think you got this position and like being able to make it more stable in terms of lifestyle? Like what happened to get you to where you are?
I got lucky as fuck.
So was it more like an intro from someone?
I just met Rennie.
Okay.
I met Rennie.
So that traces back to the same person. Marcel talked about Rennie also a lot,
bro.
And he's
but
the one.
I was the one that connected Marcel to Rennie.
Okay, there we go.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Wait, so Marcel knew Rennie afterwards?
Marcel was my roommate. Yeah, he lived above me in the apartment above me in Philly.
In Philly.
Yeah.
Small world. Okay. And then Rennie hooked you up with this job here? Or?
Nah, man. It was like a thing of with Rennie. Like I didn't. Before I met Rennie, I had a very limited point of view of street dance.
Okay.
And
what was your point? By the way, we just talked about it off camera in terms of what jobs are available out there, what people were looking for growing up as a dancer, because it wasn't like there's a profession there,
Yeah.
So what was your experience there?
I would say that the epitome of street dance for me as a kid was dancing behind an artist.
Yep.
And or choreographing for an artist, or being a choreographer,
right?
Or being a specialty act.
Okay. So
like the dancer you see doing tricks.
Sure.
And that was it. And then so I meet Rennie. Rennie was a director, and he had a lot of other positions on this TV show called Dance Party USA. And I wasn't a regular. I was a permanent guest.
Okay.
And I just did it, just hang out and dance all day and get free cupcakes.
For you, you were already like, damn, I'm already living the dream.
Nah, bro. I just gave me something to do to kill time, and I got to be around other. It wasn't about being on TV for me. It's about I'm around good dancers.
So you didn't care about being like on TV, or
I wanted to be around dancers. I wanted to be around other kids that dance.
So it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm on TV. That's crazy.
It was like I get to be around, because I know all the anybody who's a cool dancer is going to be on the show. Wow. So it's like, yo, what's up, man? Where you from? And dancing on the side, and then meeting girls and stuff like that. It was about it was networking. Adolescent networking.
Yeah.
So I didn't care about being on camera.
Yeah.
That was a perk, but it was just like, yo, I met this girl, and yo, these dudes, they're from blah blah blah. They're from Palmyra, or they're from.
So that experience for you was more about that instead of like, I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna get famous. I'm gonna get jobs.
Yeah.
All of the like a lot of people, how they think about things now, exposure.
Yeah, and I think for the smarter kids,
they did, right?
They were, because my buddy Clyde, who was already closer to Rennie than me. He was, because he was a regular on the TV show, and me and him were friends. And I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Clyde. I'm not sure if he'd had that mindset, but he took the TV show way more seriously than I did. And but he was the one that was telling me, Rennie's doing this thing. Come to rehearsal.
Right.
And I was like,